Pat Mahomes.
Bust. What would you have said if I bet you $100 at the end of the round robin and start of the playoffs that the Stars would be in the Stanley Cup playoffs or Stanley Cup finals?
I don't know.
Because Bomb.
That was their best player.
So how do y'all feel about this?
Very impressed with how bad they're doing.
Donovan Mitchell, who right now looks to be a superstar.
Yeah, and as a Cowboys fan, I have learned how dangerously good Aaron Rodgers has been with he can just thread a pass.
A lot worse than I thought. So, what do you think is going to happen in the game tonight, Kevin?
I don't know what to think.
They've won a game by 2 points, 3 points, and 1 point.
A very high number.
Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers, and that's all I have to say. He's still a top 5 quarterback in this league, and there's nothing really anyone can do about it.
Before the season started, traded for Mookie Betts. What do you think about that trade, Austin?
If he can step up, that'll really help the Lakers in the future.
Just amazing, and I don't care what the Red Sox got for trading Mookie Betts and David Price. The Dodgers, in my opinion, win it. I don't have to see what players they gave up.
I think we should move on to the Yankees, who... But after that, everything just fell apart.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to our 15th episode of Outsider Opinions. I said the last episode was actually the 15th episode, but it was actually our 14th, so this episode is actually our 15th, just to clarify. We've recorded over 15 videos, so let us know what your favorite video has been so far in the comments. If you're listening on Spotify, go to our YouTube channel and drop your thoughts in the comments. In our last episode, we gave our predictions for the World Series, so go check that out, as the Dodgers won Game 5 yesterday. Today's episode will be about all rookie quarterbacks this season. So let's start with the number 1 overall pick, Joe Burrow.
I think he's been relatively impressive, but it's hard for him to see. Yeah, it's hard for me to see how good he'll actually be with all his with his O-line not being able to protect him as much as he should be. He's played well relatively, but the Bengals have really struggled with holding leads this season. Their only win comes over the Jacksonville Jaguars, who have been terrible this year. They tied against Philly, but these past 2 weeks they've been up by significant margins and haven't been able to hold on. Against the Colts, that was partially Joe Burrow's fault, as he didn't even throw a touchdown pass, but he did have a rushing TD. But yesterday, he had 3 touchdown passes and a pick. I think he's been better than I anticipated early, but if his O-line cannot get it together, he may turn out to be like another quarterback that retired early.
Yeah, and to clarify, he is tied with Carson Wentz for being the most sacked QB, and that is with 28 sacks. And there are some games where, in the game against Philadelphia, he was sacked 8 times. Against Baltimore, he was sacked 7 times. And against Jacksonville, he was only sacked 1 time. So I guess compared to the other weeks, that's pretty good for him.
Yeah, I guess it's because they lost Calais Campbell and Yannick Ngakoue, but I mean, they lost all their D-line presence, so they couldn't get any sacks, really.
Yeah, and you mentioned it about the quarterback retiring early. That's Andrew Luck, and Andrew Luck suffered from a bad GM his first couple of years until they got the new GM they have now. His rookie year, he was sacked 41 times, and then in his second year, he was sacked a little bit less, as 36 times. And when you're a young quarterback, I feel getting constantly hit by however big these, like 200 to 300 pound linemen, that's going to affect you, and it's going to lead to injuries. Like you said, that's why Andrew Luck retired early. And the Colts could be a contender. Well, they would be a contender with Andrew Luck, because no offense to Phillip Rivers is not Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck was, when he was finally healthy, he was so good, and the Colts had finally fixed the other team. Their defense is one of the best in the league. Offensive line, you have one of the best guards in the league with Quentin Nelson. So, number 1 priority for the Bengals is get a line in front of Joe Burrow, because I think he's going to be a great QB. we saw what he could do with LSU last last year in college. And I think he can do that. You just have to give him enough time, and you have the weapons. Just
And
go get him. Yeah.
yeah, comparing Joe Burrow to someone like Justin Herbert, another rookie QB who we will speak on very soon, he's been sacked only 10 times in the 5 games that he's played in. 10 times. Joe Burrow was sacked 8 times in one game. He doesn't get the protection needed to be an elite QB right now. He's thrown 9 touchdown passes and 5 picks to Justin Herbert with 12 touchdowns and 3 picks. I'm much more impressed with how Justin Herbert's playing, but I don't blame Joe Burrow for being in the state he is because of his O-line and the deficiency of what it has been, especially now that Joe Mixon's injured.
Yeah, and that's he has so many weapons. AJ Green, T Higgins. Who else? I'm blanking. Oh, Tyler Boyd.
Tyler Boyd, Joe Mixon when he's healthy.
And he can't complete his reads if, like, I don't know what the average seconds is when he's being hit. It's probably very short, so probably 1 to 2, maybe 3 seconds. A big lineman comes at him and he's like, oh shoot, I don't know where to go with the ball because I haven't been able to think because I have to run away for my life. So that you just have to fix that. And I think with some of the quarterbacks in this class, where they went, like Justin Herbert, I think he landed in a great situation. I'll talk more when we get to him. I think no matter where Joe Burrow was going, he was going to be a good QB. And you hate to see it because I think he could be a great QB if they can just get a line, just do something, Bengals, if you're listening. I think now we can go to the number 5th pick of this year's draft, Tua, which I do not like that decision. What do you think, Austin?
Oh yeah, it's concerning. The Bills don't look like they're as good as people think they are, and the Dolphins have played very well this season, with Ryan Fitzpatrick as their main dude, as their starting quarterback. I I don't know. It's tough. I think Tua is the future, but it's hard to put him into this situation. The only thing that I like about the decision is that they did wait till a bye week to give him 2 full weeks of prep before the game against the Rams. But I mean, that's a very tough opponent to play against in your first game. I'm concerned because I don't know if Tua is 100% healthy yet. I'm assuming that the Dolphins believe he is, and he didn't look all that great in the Week 6 outing that he had. I mean, he went 2 for 2 for 9 yards and some rushes, I bet. But I mean, it's just I don't know if he's the answer right now, and I think they should run with Ryan Fitzpatrick until the season's done, and then go full Tua mode and draft more people to protect him and to add support on the defensive end and go from there. But what are your thoughts on moving on from?
Yeah, I don't like it from your future standpoint, as you said. Tua is definitely the future for them, and I don't like this season. This season, I think we can say right now, pretty easily. Well, we haven't seen much of him, but Ryan Fitzpatrick is playing well, so why stop? Just keep playing with him, and like you said, the Bills don't look good, and they could have a chance to make the playoffs, but you can't. So it's not a great time to put in a rookie QB. And I'm gonna make another point. Resting a quarterback or drafting a quarterback in the first round and letting him wait or letting him sit and figure out defenses and learn from other quarterbacks has turned out pretty well, because I think top 3 quarterbacks right now, I'm not listing them. I think top 3 quarterbacks right now are Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson. 2 of those quarterbacks did not start week 1. The first one to start was Patrick Mahomes in week 17 of his rookie year in a game that did not matter against the Broncos. And then Aaron Rodgers, we all know, I don't think he played for 2 to 3 years.
He was out for a while.
Yeah. So, and now just look at where they are now. One of the best QBs in the league. And I'm not saying Tua would turn in that, but it doesn't mean not starting hurts the quarterback. It actually benefits him. And you mentioned they did do it before a bye week or on a bye week or before a bye week, so he has the bye week to learn. I still don't like putting him against Aaron Donald with the Rams, and you also got Jalen Ramsey. And this offensive line is still developing. And to look at Tua's injuries, he had a high ankle sprain, I think 2 years ago. And then he had to have that surgery, but he still made it for the college football playoffs. And then, of course, last season he had dislocated hip. So why not just let him rest? Is my thing. So I don't. It could turn out really well, but right now it doesn't look very good, and it just hurts to see Ryan Fitzpatrick go when he was playing so well get benched.
Yeah, I think we can move on to the number 6 pick and Justin Herbert.
Yeah,
He's been very impressive so far this year. Like I said, I believe that he's NFL or AFC Rookie of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year, whatever that is award is. He should win it, in my opinion. At least how far the season's gone, he's been better than the majority of quarterbacks in the league, in my opinion. He's played very, very well. He's at least middle of the pack right now, especially because he's played against some very good teams. Kansas City, the Buccaneers. They both of those teams they were leading against and should have won those games. Also against the Saints. I mean, he's played very impressive. He's been very impressive against some very, very difficult teams to play against and some very, very good quarterbacks.
yeah, and he's really impressed me. Like I wasn't shocked by the pick because they needed a new quarterback as they were going to let Philip Rivers leave. But I I didn't expect him to start, and I feel bad for Tyrod Taylor as he lost his job once again to another rookie QB. I think that happened to him in with the Browns and maybe with the Bills, or I'm not
Yeah, the
sure about
Bills
that.
moved on from him for Josh Allen.
Yeah, so you just hate to see it, but he has taken his chance and he has played incredible. And they have some nice weapons on the Chargers, and I would say it's the best situation right of all the teams right now. They have some great defensive stars in I think Casey Hayward at corner, Derwin James at safety, Joey Bosa, not Nick Bosa, and just an incredible pass rusher. And like you said, he hasn't been sacked that much, and that's a really good job by the Chargers as it gives him time to find his weapons. I think Corey Davis, no, not Corey Davis, Mike Williams. Sorry, Corey Davis on the Titans,
Yeah.
and Keenan Allen and Hunter Henry, and he's. I would agree he should win Offensive Rookie of the Year, and he looks to be right now the best quarterback out of this class. Yeah,
Yeah. Derwin James is injured for them, and the Chargers have a ton of injuries, but they're still moving along. They're 2-4, and they're not that bad. And we'll have to see how they go out the rest of the year.
yeah, and imagine just for the future if he can keep this up, and you have all those defensive players back, they could they are in the AFC West, but we do have that extra added playoff spot. So just a thing to think about for the future. Looks bright.
Yeah.
So I think we can move to Jalen Hurts, which I've been shocked by Justin Herbert, but I wasn't shocked by who he was drafted. I was shocked by Jalen Hurts. What about you, Austin?
Yeah, it was a surprise pick, but I like what they've done with him. Um, he's been a part of all parts facets of the offensive game besides blocking, and he may have done that a little bit too. Um, he uh, he has 51 rushing yards on the year, 3 receiving yards, and 18 passing yards. So the Eagles are trying to get him in any way possible. I think it's interesting how they're playing him. What do you think?
Yeah, I kind of see. So when I first saw this pick, I was like, does this mean they're going to get rid of Carson Wentz? But the more I thought about it, he's kind of their backup because they did lose Nick Foles 2 years ago. and Carson Wentz does have he has had a lot of injuries in the past, so you need a good quarterback. And I kind of see him more as a Taysom Hill, but a better quarterback, if that makes sense. And like you said, they're using him everywhere they can, and that's kind of what I see as Taysom Hill. And it's just another wrinkle Doug Peterson can use in his offense, and he may take over at quarterback one day.
Yeah, I mean, if Carson Wentz gets injured or anything, I don't think it's that much of a. I don't think it's too bad of a situation because of how Jalen Hurts has been playing. Carson Wentz hasn't been the greatest quarterback this year, and that's why their record stands at 2-4-1. But we'll have to see how they can progress because they want to get Jalen Hurts 1 to 3 touches, which he's gotten every week after week 1. So he's getting his touches every week, and they trust the process of keeping him in there and making sure that he gets his chances. But it's just gonna have to depend on the Eagles on how they want to use him.
Yeah, and just to quickly add something before we go to another quarterback, I think giving him those small touches that gets him used to the offense. So a change, let's say you want to do a change of season, it's not like what we're seeing with Tua, where it's a big shock, where you're kind of just throwing him, hey, have fun. Hopefully you don't get hit. But he's kind of getting used to the offense, and it's just another thing preparing him. And I'm not going to say it could be as he develops in the future, they could make another Super Bowl run like they did with Nick Foles when he played incredibly well as the backup, when he was the backup quarterback when Carson Wentz tore his ACL.
Yep.
So I think we can go to Ben DiNucci, who I definitely didn't expect him to make an appearance this season for the Cowboys in the regular season. What about you?
Yeah, he was more of a safety net, and they really just picked him to make sure that they had someone. If Andy Dalton left in the future, he was more of like that future Cooper Rush type, but better than Cooper Rush player. And last week he was thrown into a situation after Andy Dalton got out of the game with concussion or concussion-like symptoms after an illegal hit. He threw. He went 2 of 3 for 39 yards against the Washington football team, and I mean, it'll be interesting to see how he performs if he does actually start next week against the Eagles. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm thinking he's gonna make a start against the Eagles because I don't know how Andy Dalton walked after that illegal hit, so I'm expecting it. And as a Cowboys fan, I like the pick because it was 7th round, and it's a quarterback that Mike McCarthy has chosen, and we've seen um, Dak Prescott. And while he was a 4th round pick, he was not expected to start, and he walked into a pretty good uh, offense. But Ben DiNucci isn't that lucky, as the Cowboys' offensive line is just riddled with injuries. You have Joe Looney out, right? He's still out. Zach Martin, best guard in the league, is out. Um, right tackle is Terrence Steele, as Leo Collins is out for the season. Left guard Connor Williams is there, so that's good. He's the starter. And then you have uh, Tyron Smith out. And then his backup, Brandon Knight, is also out. So you have Cam Irving from, as I don't know where he is on the depth chart, but it's not looking good. But if Ben DiNucci can make something out of this, he could become the starter for the Dallas Cowboys. I don't think that's very hot take, because you look at it, he's the only quarterback under contract for the Cowboys for next season, right? Andy Dalton's 1 year deal, and Dak Prescott, quote unquote,
Yeah,
1 year deal.
guaranteed to be on the under contract for next season. Yeah, so I mean, it's an interesting situation to be put in, and if he does do very well, it'll be interesting to see what they do moving forward. If he is that next great talent, like a Tom Brady-esque type of player, 7th round quarterback comes out of nowhere, and becomes that next level player. I know Tom Brady wasn't the 7th round pick, but I'm just saying late round pick, almost two. He was 198. Ben DiNucci is 231. I mean, kind of close.
And I'm sorry, you can go.
No, I was going to ask, what do you think is going to happen if he excels?
So if he excels, I have him. I think he's going to take it because no offense to Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott was drafted by Jason Garrett, and he's no longer the coach. And Mike McCarthy, as of right now, is still the coach of the Dallas Cowboys. So, and Mike McCarthy drafted Ben DiNucci, so I think it's kind of that favoritism. Well, I drafted you, and I don't know how much Ben DiNucci's making, but it seems if he's playing close and okay, we can win with you, I would take that over 40 million or how much money Dak Prescott wants. You hate to see it, but the NFL is a business, and Jerry Jones is a businessman. And I think if Ben DiNucci's playing well, not a lot, he's not making a lot of money. So take advantage of it and take that 40 million we've given Dak Prescott to any defensive player because you can pay any defensive player and they would be better than, or you can get a defensive player off free agency and they'd be better than any of the defensive players for the Dallas Cowboys. Would you
Yeah,
agree?
most of them at least. Yeah. I mean, it's a tough situation, like I've been saying. And the O line with everyone out for them who started besides Connor Williams, I don't know if Ben DiNucci can survive. We were talking about Joe Burrow earlier getting 8 sacks per game. I mean, and that was happened against the Eagles. And who, of course, did Ben DiNucci make his first start against next week if he starts? The Eagles. I mean, he may get sacked 12 times. We'll have to see what happens. I mean, it's going to be an interesting dilemma for the coaching staff who are all on the hot seat as of right now.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think the player, if Mike McCarthy has lost the locker room, he deserves to be on the hot seat. And that's like the high scenario if Ben DiNucci plays well, but I think he's gonna get sacked really hard. He can't really depend on highest paid your highest paid running back, and if he can just get the time, he can. He has weapons. You have CeeDee Lamb, you have Michael Gallup, you have Amari Cooper, but you really don't have the time. So good luck with that. And the run game does not look good because Zeke loves to just hand the ball to the other team. So
Yeah, I think Zeke's going to be a huge part. If Zeke can excel, maybe it'll give confidence to Ben DiNucci and the rest of the offensive players who are stepping in.
yeah, and just to maybe for all the other quarterbacks, like the Bengals have Joe Mixon, but you said he's injured. I think having a running back when you're a young quarterback makes the reads a lot easier, especially a legitimate running back. Like Zeke, his first year with the Cowboys was Dak's first year, and Zeke went on to win the rushing title. I think that really helps because that gives you one-on-one matchups because you have the defense stacking the box, so you can run a lot of play action and they'll bite for the running game. And then with the wide receivers this year are better than the wide receivers Dak had. I think he had Dez Bryant. He had Cole Beasley. Dez Bryant was fading out, but I would definitely take Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, and Michael Gallup all in one-on-one situations if Zeke steps it up. So you're right. That's a big key player. So I think we got anything else to add?
I think that's all.
All right. Well, thank you for listening to our 15th episode. Our next episode will be about the World Series as hopefully the Dodgers win on Wednesday night. Also,
to make sure our predictions are correct.
Yeah, so you know who we're rooting for by that, as we predicted the Dodgers win in 6, and it looks like it as Clayton Kershaw played pretty well yesterday. So thank you for listening, and our next episode will be about the World Series, as we talked about, and if you like our opinions on the rookie quarterbacks, let us know. Do you think Ben DiNucci is going to be the starter for the Dallas Cowboys next season? Well, let us know. Be on the lookout for more episodes from Outsiders Opinion.